This week on WestfordCAT News, we update you on recent activities at the former Drew Gardens parcel on Boston Road. We tell you what's in store for Hicks Farm on Main Street.
The handout before you today, we received these plans today. There's some additional information in the chart. It shows you the frontage at the front yard setback requirement, which I know sounds confusing, but they're proving that they have the minimum 200 feet.
And we bring you more recycling information.
So, a pizza box. This has been one of the ones that has caused the Recycling Commission the most trouble since the new program began.
Stay tuned. WestfordCAT News is next. I'm Tracy Tebro, a WestfordCAT board member. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to sign up for our email alerts to get our latest Westford News articles. Just visit westfordcatnews.org and click on the red subscribe button in the upper right corner. Late into the June 3rd meeting, planning board members endorsed development plans for the 9.5 acres known as Hicks Farm at 124 Main Street. The plans call for dividing the acreage into 6 residential lots. Planning board approval is not required because the land has 200 feet of frontage, said Jeff Morissette, Director of Land Use Management. Here is Morissette.
The handout before you today, we received these plans today. There's some additional information in the chart. It shows you the frontage at the front yard setback requirement, which I know sounds confusing, but they're proving that they have the minimum 200 feet. So we do believe it's entitled to A&R endorsement. We did call out a number of items that we just wanted to be upfront with them about that could potentially trigger a stormwater management permit, could trigger, a couple of things, and we're just trying to be upfront and let them know that.
After the unanimous vote to endorse, attorney Paul Alphin called the action the end of an era. Alphin represents the client, GMH Realty of Charlestown. He was the attorney for the late Robert M. Hicks, one of the biggest residential developers in the region.
It's the end of an era for Land Tech and Paul Alphin. Seeing the world headquarters of Robert M. Hicks Inc. getting carved up.
Why is that? Was that your first client?
Well, he certainly was my most important client and Land Tech's most important client for quite a long time.
Yes, definitely.
Hicks died in 2006. Town planner Rebecca Cheney says she is not aware of any immediate plans to develop the land. Later, in an email, Alphin said his client hopes to sell the parcel as a whole. The subdivisions, he said, allow for options and provide a better understanding of how much the land is worth. To watch the entire planning board meeting, visit westfordcat.org. The piles of loam are spread, the dilapidated greenhouse is gone, and the old farm stand is cleared of clutter. Developer Ebby Marsaladon, whose original plan was to build a controversial farm-to-table restaurant on the property's 9 acres, is now considering other options. Here's Selectman Chairman Mark Cost listing ideas discussed at a meeting with Marsaladon, Town Manager Jody Ross, Conservation and Resource Planner Carol Gumbart, and Selectman Andrea Perriner-Sweet.
We had a good discussion, met for an hour and a half or so, and left that discussion with some follow-ups. And a meeting to be scheduled probably sometime over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would imagine. But to give people a flavor of the kinds of things that we left that meeting with is first determine whether the Conservation Commission has any interest in purchasing the property from Ebby, either in whole or in part. somewhat related to that, to determine whether in either conjunction with the Conservation Commission or in conjunction with the town, whether there's a non-profit that wants to come in and jointly determine whether they want to purchase the property from Ebby. The third one is to determine whether Ebby would like to develop some sort of co-op business where, with some rehabilitation of the farm stand, allow farmers to farm parcels 1 and 2, and Ebby would lease the property to them, and then allow them to sell their product at the farm stand. And then the other one is really around whether Ebby would like to either hire a farmer on his own to farm parcels 1 and 2, and sell those fruits and vegetables at the farm stand for whatever period of time, or whether the town wants to enter into a lease with Ebby to contract with a farmer, something similar to what we do with Farmer Dave.
Cost's conciliatory approach with Marsaladon won praise at the May 22nd Selectmen's meeting from 3 of Marsaladon's most vocal opponents. Here are Maureen George, Juliette Mount, and Diane Hendricks.
Good. I applaud you for that. That was excellent work.
I just wanted to say thank you. That's really great work. First off, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
The land is under agricultural preservation restrictions. Marsaladon bought the 9 acres in 2016 with a plan to develop it. But his request to amend one of the 3 APRs in order to build a restaurant there failed 3 times to win town meeting approval. To watch the entire Selectmen's meeting, visit WestfordCAT.org. For those on a low-salt diet, be sure to listen to this next report. The Massachusetts Department of Health measured the sodium level in Westford's drinking water at 70.2 milligrams per liter for the month of May. The Mass DEP threshold for reporting sodium in drinking water to the Health Department is anything at or above 20 milligrams per liter. Here's Health Director Jeff Stevens with more.
Yes, recently what happened was the sodium levels in the town water came up to a level of approximately 70 milligrams per liter, which is above what the threshold is for the town to report to. The town has to report to the health department anytime it's above 20 milligrams per liter. And what I felt that needed to happen was anybody who's on a sodium restricted diet may want that information. And the reason why I put it out there is just so they're aware of it. It's not that the drinking water is dangerous. It's not that it has any taste issues. If you're just watching your sodium, you just need to know what that number is.
And you said before when we were talking that sodium is important for the diet, correct?
Yeah, every human actually needs sodium. It's something that our body requires. Our muscles and our nerves actually need it to function. Sodium's naturally occurring in the ground. It's in almost everything we eat that is grown, that is processed, and of course higher amounts are always in processed foods and in restaurant foods. There's just always going to be that amount. The 70 number in Westford I don't think is extraordinarily high. I think the water quality is fantastic here. But again, if you're paying attention to what your numbers are, that's just at least something you're going to want to know.
Stay tuned to WestfordCAT as we follow this story. Here's Joyce Polino Crane with a highlight from the June 4th public hearing on coyotes presented by Mass Wildlife.
Thanks, Tracy. Mass Wildlife held a public hearing on June 4th to discuss a contest designed to kill coyotes. A Hyannis-based company called Powder Keg Outfitters is sponsoring the controversial event. About 40 people at the Blanchard School aired their pro and con arguments during the 2-hour meeting. Here's Al Prescott of Westford.
I've been interacting with coyotes now since the early 1970s when they were only up in the great northwoods of New England. And there's a couple of things that I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about lost pets. People have already done that. I'm not going to talk about people who've been attacked. That's relatively rare. And I'm not going to really talk about the fact that the eastern coyote is a non-native invasive species, and that contests and things of that nature are acceptable ways throughout the country to deal with non-native invasive species. It's dealt with Asian carp, pythons in the Everglades, and we certainly wouldn't want to look at protections to the Asian longhorn beetle that's ravaging trees out in central Massachusetts. But one thing I am going to talk about is what hunters don't do. We don't eradicate. It's not part of our repertoire. It's just not done. And as you mentioned, Massachusetts is actually outside the mainstream in the fact that we closed the coyote season. In all the states that have year-round coyote hunting, those coyote populations are not threatened in any way, shape, or form. They proliferate, they are expanding, they continue to expand.
Taking the other side was Monica Hope of Andover.
This isn't about hunting, and I don't even know if this contest is drawing just hunters. I mean, can you just go into the powder house, buy a gun, and then suddenly go out for 6 months? So you have to be licensed. Correct. Okay. Well, I mean, that's where the debate really is. I have an issue not with legitimate hunters who follow a code of ethics. This feels to me like shooting fish in a barrel. It really feels to me like one of the things that it might be used is that contraption where it makes the sound of a baby coyote that will attract, mother coyotes. Is that fair? Is that even ethical? Is that even like good hunting? It doesn't feel that way to me. And I keep hearing also too this whole thing about my cat, my dog. The coyote doesn't look at pets any different than they look at a nice juicy rabbit. You know what I mean? They don't like go, oh, there's a cat, that's tasty, I'd rather have that. If your animal's out, they're going to, and it goes in the path, he's going to be confused. So, I mean, if I had a rabbit, which I do, but I have a couple, and I wouldn't put them out in the backyard for the day, not because of coyotes, I'd be worried about hawks. It's just, you just have to think. I mean, so I said enough, but thank you. Thank you. Can I just make a comment?
Watch the entire meeting on demand at WestfordCAT.org. Back to you, Tracy.
The Commission on Disability is seeking a resident at-large member to serve a 3-year term beginning July 1st. Also open on the commission is an associate member position. Preference will be given to applicants with a disability or those with a family member who has a disability. Members are appointed by the town manager and approved by selectmen. If you're interested in either vacancy, please contact Chairman Catherine Fanoff at kfanoff@westfordma.gov or fill out a citizen activity form at westfordma.gov. Commissioner Ellen Hardy has a new recycling tip for you.
Think you know what to recycle? Think again. The rules have changed. But there is a wonderful website that will help you, and we are here to help you. I want to introduce you to a website that's called Recycle Smart, MA, and it's also known as the Recyclopedia. So, a pizza box. This has been one of the ones that has caused the Recycling Commission the most trouble since the new program began. And everything is fine with this box except for the liner. That has to go in the trash. But here, if you look on the screen about what Recyclopedia says, it says that this can be recycled as long as you take out the liner paper, which we just did, and we also take out that little plastic support that sometimes your pizzas come with. So yes to pizza boxes, even if it has a little bit of grease on it. No pizza, no food. Eat that or compost it. But we want just the box, but pizza boxes can be recycled. Obviously, she has lots of pets. And these are aluminum, very, very recyclable. They have no other product involved in them. We don't even have to look this up. Those can go right into the recycling bin. Looks like yesterday's mail. All of this is paper, no other material in here. This is great. This can stay right in the toter. Here's a receipt, been to Donlands. This one was a surprise to me when I went up to the chart. Let's go to see what it says here about receipts. Well, they've got thermal receipts, and I think that's what we've got here, but I'm just going to do it in general. Put it in your trash bin. It's because the paper is not the quality they're looking for, and also because the ink has been printed thermally, and that's not what they want. So there are an infinite number of packaging items that everyone in Westford is bringing into their home every single day, and we're hoping that the Recyclopedia MA will teach you what to do with them. But if you have any questions at all, the reason that the 7 members of the Recycling Commission are here is to help you learn how this works. We're learning as you are learning, but hopefully we're a couple of steps ahead of you. So let's all do this together and have Westford's recycling be the best in the Commonwealth. Thank you.
Stay tuned for more tips in the weeks to come. Now here's news from Town Hall.
Hi, I'm Jody Ross, your town manager here with your update. And today I brought along a new hire to the town. We have been trying to create a facility director position for about 9 years, and we were lucky enough to finally come to fruition with that, and we have hired Paul Fox, and I'd like you to meet him. He is located in Millennium School right now, and he is a town and school facility director. But Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
Thank you, Jody. I have a background in a Bachelor's of Emergency Management from Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and from there I ended up getting my master's degree in facilities management as well.
So Paul, how have your first 3 weeks gone?
That's a fun question, and I've been asked that almost every single day now. I am still counting weeks. I can, in fact, probably count days too. My first 3 weeks have been incredible, though. It's a very welcoming community. Everybody that I've met is so excited to be working here or to be part of the town, and I feel like I'm starting to fit into that vibe too. It's just been it's been an incredible opportunity. There's a lot of buildings, a lot of people in town. And I'm just looking to fill any void that I can and be a part of this working team puzzle. And that creates some challenges. I know that right now we're looking at a possible central building project, which I think would be a great opportunity for both veterans, myself, and as well as the IT department, who's housed at the old fire station. And it would be nice to have a permanent location, and I know part of that scope of that project was to do a bigger meeting hall, which I've already seen the need for. Being in a few town managers' meetings already, the space can quickly become crowded. So an opportunity like the central building project would be very nice, and it's an exciting thing for Westford.
So that new center building, the demolition of the old fire station, will be on the October special town meeting warrant. I believe the date is October 21st for special town meeting. And we are having a strategic planning retreat at Kimball Farm on June 13th at 5:30. You need to RSVP online, but we will have a booth discussing the town center building. And the two main topics for this year are stormwater management, which is front and center in most of our minds, and also the Town and School Safety Task Force that Paul mentioned earlier. So thank you, Paul, for joining us today, and we welcome you, and thank you for allowing me to update the residents of the town.
Rex, an 8-year-old pit bull mix, is available for adoption at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's WestfordCAT's production coordinator, Patty Stalker, with more.
Big, bouncy, and friendly is the way the staff at the Lowell Humane Society describes this stray pit bull mix brought into the shelter in May. Here's volunteer Roger Logeman with more on 8-year-old Rex.
So this is Rex. Rex is an 8-year-old playful, friendly pit bull mix. When I look at him, I think he's probably mixed with some German Shorthair Pointer, the way his body is colored, but in any event, he's a mixed breed. He is housebroken. He's very dog friendly, so he could go to a home with other dogs. He would not be a good dog for a home with cats or other small animals. He has too much of a prey instinct for that. He's been here about a month, and he was a stray. He was picked up as a stray. One thing a adopter should know is that Rex, when he's adopted, will require a vet reference. He has had issues with his ears in the past, and he has a lump in his mouth that we're going to have removed. So neither of those require any immediate attention, but they will require periodic checks by a vet. So we'll be looking for a family with an established relationship with the vet.
If you think you'd like to provide Rex with his forever home, or would like more information on donating to or volunteering at the Lowell Humane Society, visit them Tuesday through Sunday at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell, or go to lowellhumanesociety.org. Call 978-452-7781. You can also find them on Facebook. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
Can you say hot dog? Huh? No, but you can sit for one.
With Westford Academy's outdoor graduation ceremony scheduled for June 7th, all eyes are on the weather. Let's see what it will bring this weekend. Here's WestfordCAT board member Betsy Alvarez with suggestions for things to do in the area.
Thanks, Tracy. A 30-year tradition, the Strawberry and Arts Festival, sponsored by the First Parish Church United, will take place on the Westford Town Common on Saturday, June 15. Lines form for the sponge shortcake treat topped with freshly whipped cream and organic strawberries between noon and 3 p.m. Music, crafts, and artwork are all on display around the edge of the common, where vendors are ready to sell their wares. The festival runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Visit the strawberryfestival.org for more information. The J.B. Fletcher Library's Adult Book Club will meet on Thursday, June 13 at 7:30 p.m. to discuss Leanne Moriarty's book, What Alice Forgot. Pick up your copy at the library's main desk. New members are welcome and registration is not needed. Visit westfordlibrary.org for more information. The Rodenbush Community Center is taking a group to Fenway Park to watch the Chicago White Sox battle it out with Boston Red Sox. Enjoy pregame warm-ups and buy yourself lunch as you wait for a 1:05 p.m. game start time. The Silver Fox coach leaves the Franco-American Club on West Prescott Street at 11 a.m. on June 26 and returns at about 6 p.m. For more information, visit rodenbush.org. The Boarding House Park Summer Music Series kicks off on June 14 at 7:30 p.m. with a performance by the Allman Betts Band. The sons of Greg Allman and Dickie Betts joined forces to create the new band in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Allman Brothers Band. Tickets are $39 each in advance and $45 the day of the concert. Premium seats go for $139 per seat. For more information, visit lowellsummermusic.org. Back to you, Tracy.
That's it for now, Westford. This week, we visited the Fairview Cemetery to pay tribute to those who fought for our country.